from the kitchen. No, literally live in my kitchen, but I didn't want to miss a day. I'm still going live every single day. I didn't post on Facebook, but I posted on LinkedIn, so maybe I'll just port that video over. I went live with my friend Daryl Amy. We talked about ideal clients and the importance of it. We debunked 3 myths. So go ahead and check that if you're on LinkedIn. Check it out. Today, I just wanted to come on really, really quickly and just remind you that life is not meant to happen on your time, right? It doesn't happen on your time. You have to continue to do what you can, but don't expect. Okay? So do not expect for the good to come. Remember that. Do not expect for the good to come right away, but you have to continue to push forward. You have to continue to live. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals because it's not happening immediately. We live in an instant gratification society, and we have forgotten that some things take time. If you push a button on your phone or your computer, you expect that thing to come up immediately. If it takes longer than 2 seconds, you're wondering what's wrong, right? And we have ported that over into our lives. Well, like I said, life doesn't happen on your time. Sometimes it takes a little longer. And entrepreneurship has taught me this time and time and time and time again. You see, I will put something out there and I'd expect it to just catch like wildfire. Doesn't happen that way. Doesn't happen that way. And when I do that, I get a little disappointed when it doesn't happen the way I want it to happen. And I'm sure you can relate to me. Well, we have to change our mindset. Like my own book, Own Your Kingdom, says, control your mindset, you control your destiny. Even I forget that sometimes. So I wanted to come on here and let you know that just because the gift or the action or the win didn't come right when you wanted to, right when you started to put in a little work, or right when you set that goal and the goal is passed and that goal date is passed and you're like, what happened? Don't worry about that. Iterate, learn from what didn't happen. I learn more from how it didn't happen and where I fell short than I do when it happens. So what that means is when it does come, I am prepared. When I do fall short, I know that I have to train a little harder on something. I know I need an extra resource. I know I need to put in a little more work to earn, not expect, but to earn what it is. I always say, don't expect to be great, aspire to be great. See, expectations leave us lacking a little bit. See, we don't work as hard. Even though we think we're grinding, we're not as focused on the goal. We're not as focused as we would be when we aspire to be great. There's a huge difference. Right? Expectations leave us feeling like, oh, this is mine, right? It's destined for me. I'm meant to have this, and you are. But you can only receive the blessing when you do the work to walk up to the hand giving you that blessing. Remember that. You have to walk to get the blessing. It is never handed to you. Meaning you have to put in the work, you got to put in the time, and nothing is owed to you. You have to earn it, right? You have to go hard. And you may not get that blessing until a year from now, until 6 months from now. So prepare for the journey and embrace it. Everything that comes along with it, embrace it. That way, when you do achieve that blessing, when you do get that goal, you will appreciate it. You see, pain, discomfort, falling short, or failure, as we like to call it, those are counterbalances to joy, to success, to happiness, to love. And you have to have that because it keeps us appreciative of what we get. Remember that if we didn't feel those other emotions, if we didn't go through some turmoil, we would never know what it was like to be at our highest high because we never hit the lowest low. And if you never hit the lowest low, you wouldn't appreciate the highest high when you have it. So don't look at the struggles as something that's meant to hold you down or hold you back. See, it's the mindset. You got to look at it as your mind, through your mind's eye, as an opportunity for growth. This is the only way you're going to be able to continue to go. See, we have to understand that our circumstances are temporary, no matter if they're good or bad or ugly. It is temporary. Why? Because as humans, we have something called hedonistic adaptation. We can adapt to anything, right? After a while, we can adapt to the worst circumstances and we can get used to the best circumstances. But you have to be careful about what you're adapting to. See, if you adapt to the lowest lows, you can be in that relationship that is terrible. You can stay in a job that you hate just because it pays the bills. And you can be blocking all the blessings that are meant for you because you don't adapt it to being comfortable and being uncomfortable, and not in a good way. Or you can adapt to the highest high. And when you adapt to that, you have no resilience. So when something happens that's negative, you just think it's the worst thing in the world. See, it's all about that balance. It's all about finding that medium, that happy medium, keeping yourself humble enough to know that everything you've worked for can be taken away in an instant because you weren't the only thing that worked to get it to you, right? Remember that. And then on the other side, remember that you should never be happy with a life of suffering. You're not meant to suffer. You're not meant to suffer. You are meant to elevate, but you cannot give up. No matter where you are in your journey. I'm talking to my entrepreneurs. I'm talking to my folks who are working that job. I'm talking to my people who don't have a job. I'm talking to everybody. You know, I'm a marketing guy. Normally, I wouldn't say talk to everybody, but this is for everybody. This is for you. And I'm just telling you this because I've learned it myself. I've gone through it myself. The same thing I'm telling you. I never come on here and tell you nothing I haven't experienced myself. And this is recent. Like, this is a recent thing. People see the accolades. People see, cool things happening. But I'm here to tell you about the other side, the struggle side. This stuff isn't easy, right? It's not easy to wake up every day and when things don't go your way to keep moving, but you have to. And you have to lean on your support system. You have to let people know when things aren't going your way, how you're feeling. Express yourself. Do it in a healthy way, of course, but find ways to express yourself. That's going to give you the strength to build yourself back up, pick yourself up off that floor so you can go at it again. In football, when I was younger, I don't know if they do it anymore, we used to do this thing called nutcracker. When two people lay on the floor, right, opposite ends of the field, about 10 yards apart, and as soon as they say go, the people get up, go, and hit, right? You just hit. It's supposed to train you to prepare for impact, how to tackle well, how to shed your block or shed the tackle, whatever, depending on your position, right? But when you get knocked down, everybody's like, ooh, dang, you got ran over. You got, whatever happened. And that's how it feels sometimes in life. It's like sometimes life just smacks you. You fumble, you drop the ball, you down, you feeling hurt, you feel embarrassed. But guess what? You got to go again. Coach going to call you to go again. And that's how you got to remember. Like, when you get knocked down first, what did you learn? I wasn't low enough with my pass. Well, that means you wasn't digging deep enough. That means your cleats wasn't in the ground. You weren't digging deep enough. And that's what you got to remember. I got to dig deeper. Sometimes you got to give a little more. Sometimes you got to look at it from a different perspective. Sometimes you got to lean on your friend, lean on your other entrepreneur group, lean on the network, lean on the mastermind, lean on God. You got to lean on other people and things sometimes when you don't have it in you. Sometimes you just have to rest. And it's up to you to know when you need these things. But you don't have to do it alone. And that's why we have a community called the Place of Community Empowerment for All, which I'm now moving over and porting into the Design Your Life and Business Club. I want to create that community, create a space for everybody where we all can level up. We all can achieve success. So that's all I'm here to say. Like, don't give up on yourself. Don't be ashamed to fail. Failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of life because it's the counterbalance. It's meant to say, hey, are you really ready the achievements, for the greatness that is coming your way? Are you really ready? Will you utilize it in a positive way, or will it change you? They say success magnifies the person you are. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that the mindset that it takes to be prepared for success is a little different. I believe that you have to fortify your soul, your spirit, your mind, your emotions to be prepared for success, to sustain the success, to take on that different weight that comes with success, because it's different. It's different from the toil and the struggle. When things start flowing easily, that's why a lot of my clients, like, they say they're afraid of failure, they're afraid of certain things. A lot of people are afraid of success. They're like, what happens if I do? Well, just be prepared. Be prepared either way. Be prepared either way. You don't know which way things are going to go. It's not meant for you to know. Life would be boring if we knew every single thing that was going to happen the next day or the next moment. Life would be so boring. It's like, yeah, I know I'm about to go do this. Like, this is going to happen to me. Why would you want that, right? It takes the fun out of it a little bit. I know it can be stressful when you're like, man, this thing came out of nowhere, but you got it. You got it. You can handle it. And you don't have to do it by yourself, right? This is not those times where you got to be self-made, so to speak. This is not those times. These are times where we're collaborating over competing. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Remember, life does not happen on your time. So keep grinding. Keep believing in your dream. Keep believing in you. And do not be afraid to connect with some people who can help you get to that next level. Do not be afraid to let people know when you're not okay. You need support. We all do. Trust me. And sometimes you got to go through a couple of different levels of support to find the right people. Don't automatically expect people to understand what's happening, right? No matter who they are. Friends, families, they may not understand your journey, may not understand your plight. But if they can be there in some type of way, then that's good. That's good enough. All right. So you got to support yourself and then find a community that can help you get to where you're looking to go. And that's what I just wanted to remind you. Peace and blessings to you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna look to go live in the morning. All right. I'm gonna look to go back in the morning. But if you like the evenings, let me know in the chat or the comments. And I can do this too. I'm just here to support you. I'm here to add value to your journey. All right. Remember to design a life and business. You don't need a vacation.